That's nasty.
Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel. It's been a minute and we're gonna jump right into this tutorial. Apologies ahead of time, my camera was not in focus while I was doing her eyebrows, so we're just gonna speed through it. But I started with my Benefit brow pencil and I'm using the shade number 4. Not my favorite color, but it's what I have, and it works for this look because I did want a darker brow for this look. All I'm doing, my model has the most beautiful, my muse, okay? My muse has the most beautiful blank canvas and the most beautiful natural brows. Like, it's unbelievable. So I'm just gonna shape them up. Well, no, they don't need to be shaped up, but I am just making them a little bit more fuller on the top just for the look that I'm doing today. I want kind of like a heavier brow, so that's all I'm doing. Lining the brows on the bottom, lining the brows on the top, and just doing short hair-like strokes throughout the brow. Even though I am adding to her brow and making them appear more fuller, I do want them to have a natural look. Like, I don't want it to look too dark and like too drawn on. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to go in with my concealer brush, you guys, from my brand. I've been going for so long, but yes, I have a new brand, and this is my concealer brush. This is the X-Acto brush because she does exactly what you need her to do. And I'm using this brush with my Born This Way concealer in the shade Toffee to sculpt that eyebrow, and then I'll just blend that concealer down. I'm not going in with an eyeshadow primer for this look. I'm going to go straight into my Nude Persuasion palette by Beauty by Melissa, makeup artist on Instagram, and I'm going to be using these dark shades on the bottom to create my look. So I'm just taking some of the lighter browns on the bottom row, really just to emphasize the beginning of her eye shape underneath her brow, kind of like contouring the area, bringing color to the area, and bringing the shape out. So that's really all I'm doing. I'm not bringing the shadow like out or anything like that. I just really want to contour the beginning and a little bit of the center of her eye. So I'm just using those warm brown shades to do that. Then I'm going to go into this unreleased black base. I'm going in with this black base and I'm going to create a cut crease shape essentially. And for those that are asking, I don't have a release date for the black base, but I do currently have a universal base available to shop. It is in a creamy beige shade, so if you're interested, go check it out. This is what it's looking like, and I'm gonna go in and set that with the black eyeshadow that I showed you guys. I'm just gonna tap that eyeshadow along the eye just to set that base in place. This look is very versatile. You can add glitter on this, you can leave it matte, you can add pigment, a different eyeshadow color. Like, really, the sky is the freaking limit, but I just decided to keep this matte and black. Just gonna go onto the other eye and create my shape, just trying to get things as even as possible. I really don't stress the whole symmetry thing too much, because the artists that I look up to, like when I see their work in like magazines or music videos or on a red carpet, like the eyes, if it's, especially if it's like a detailed eye or whatever, they're never 100% symmetrical. So I'm just like, okay, we're going to stop stressing so much. Let's just get them really, really close. But I really been teaching myself since late last year how to not be so anal and hard on myself. So yeah, I just had her keep looking straight just so I can see where I'm at, and I'll slightly just keep raising up so that it matches as much as possible. And when I get it as close as possible, I just stop, because I feel like when you keep going and trying to like tweak things, you just mess up. So now I'm going in with my gems, which are self-adhesive, but for extra insurance, I did do a thin line of some lash glue, and I'm just gonna space these out on the eye. I didn't want them too close, and I'm just using the same size gem, and I'm following the shape that we created. And then I went in with some loose gems as well, because I wanted some smaller gems on the inside of the eye. Moving on to prep the skin, I'm using the Too Faced plumping serum on her skin. I asked her skin type. She says she's a bit more dry right now, so I went in with this serum first. That really helps to hydrate and plump the skin. It also helps to brighten as well, and I really do like to use this on my clients, especially if they say they have a more drier skin type. Then I'm going in with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enrich cream. You guys know I love this cream so much. Like, I'm never letting this cream go. I want to be this cream. So I'm going to push this into her skin as well. And I'm just using a brush to apply it. I stopped using my fingers to apply skin products ever since the virus. I just got so used to using a brush. The last product that I'm going to use for her skin prep is the Tarte. I love this primer, the Base Tape Primer. It's a hydrating primer. It's amazing. This primer is so good. So that's the last product I'm going to use on her skin. And honey, she is hydrated, okay? Before foundation, I go in with my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Spray, and I'm going to spray her down, and I'm going to be sure to get her chest as well. Then I go in with my base, and I'm mixing the MAC Studio Fix Foundation with the Born This Way concealer. I really love to use these concealers on the skin as foundation. And yeah, we're just going to apply that. Then to the center of her face, I'm going to use the Born This Way concealer in the shade Toffee. Underneath her eyes, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealers in the shade Rich and Tan Deep Honey. These are more of a neutral pink undertone concealers, which I do like to use on my darker skin clients. I think it gives a nice natural highlight that's not too yellow or not too golden. I moved away from the super yellow under eye, you guys. Who am I? But yeah, we're just going to apply that on the skin as well. I'm I'm going to spray her face down with the Morphe continuous spray before we go on to blend out the foundation. I like to do this because the foundation has been sitting and drying for a while. Sometimes I even take a fan to the skin to have that foundation dry a bit before I start blending it out. And I'm going to go in with my favorite foundation brush. This is the Shop Miss A. Well, this can be found on Shop Miss A. It'll be listed down below as well. But yeah, I'm just going to tap this foundation into her skin, and we can see that that is a solid color match. Like, it looks really good, looks like butter, and the colors that we mix complements her skin tone and her undertone really, really well. But I'm still going to make sure that I drag a light amount down onto her neck, not because the color is off, but just so that when we take pictures, everything is nice and seamless. And then for her forehead, to work around her eyebrows and her hairline, I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to blend that product out. From there, I go in and I start to blend out my under eye concealer. This concealer has been sitting and drying, so what I'm doing is working on getting those edges blurred out and blended onto the foundation. And I'm just tapping, 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 and tapping. Once I have that blended, I'm going to go in with my nose highlight. I also bring that down to the chin and a little bit onto the forehead as well. For contour, I'm going on with my L'Oreal Infallible concealers in Cafe and Truffle, and I'm going to use this as my contour and bronzer shade. I'm going to apply this to the skin while everything is still pretty damp from our base, and I'm going to blend that onto the skin. And I'm using a Sephora foundation brush. I believe this is number 47, and I'm just going to tap that along the cheeks, forehead, and jawline, as well as drag the residual product on the nose. I always, in between steps, go in with my foundation brush just to make sure that things are seamless and blending throughout. Then I go in with a little bit more of an under eye highlight, not necessarily with a brighter color. I do know that smoky eyes and bright under eyes go together, but for this look, I didn't need the under eye to be super bright. I just needed it to be prominent. So I just went in with more concealer in the same shade because I don't need it to be brighter. I like the color that it is. I just needed it to be a bit more coverage underneath the eyes. So I'm just going in with my beauty blender so that it'll tap away any extra product that I don't need. Then I'm going to go on with my Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder in shade number 2. Absolutely love this powder, and I'm going to press this powder into the skin to set it. This is a very finely milled powder, as you can see how it's like setting her skin and leaving the area looking like silk. Like, I love it, and I'm just making sure that I'm pressing that in. So I'm going in with my brush to make sure there's nothing left, dusting it and pressing it away before I go in with my sponge to really bake in the outer corners, lifting her eye shape up, and the inner corners, just for that extra brightness. But if you notice, it's not like a heavy bake, it's a very light bake. Then I'm going to go in underneath her bottom lip, her chin area, on her forehead, in between her brows, and down the bridge of her nose as well. Once I have bronzed up the skin, I just go in with my Real Techniques setting powder and I just dust away whatever residual powder that I don't need. I don't take all of the powder away, but I take the majority of it away just because I don't want anything to get too cakey where I don't need it. Then I'm going to go in back into that Beauty by Melissa's palette and using that same dark brown that I showed you earlier to contour her cheeks very lightly. I'm doing a very light contour. Press the rest of the powder in before I spray her face down with that Morphe spray so we can get those powders nice and melted into the skin. For the lip, we're going to just stick with a nude because you can just never go wrong with a nice glossy nude lip. And I absolutely love the NYX lip glosses, and I'm using the shade Butterscotch. I've been using this shade like crazy on all of my dark and deep skin clients, and they love it so much. I have them running to Ulta after their appointment to buy this gloss because it just looks so good and so effortless. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto brush and I'm going to blend that lip gloss into the lip liner so that it's just a nice natural gradient look. I'm going to take that same black base into her waterline, just using a lipstick applicator, and then I'm just going to smoke out her bottom lash line with those same browns that I used earlier, you guys. For her cheeks, I'm going in with this Milani blush just to give her a little bit of glow without having to use highlight because I'm not a big highlight user. And yeah, we're going to spray her down with our one size setting spray because what other setting spray would we use? And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I look forward to seeing you guys in all of the new content that I have planned. I love you guys so much, and it's great to be back. I'll see you in the comments below.